If you're a researcher, you know the drill. You're sitting on a mountain of text. Could be clinical notes, lab reports, historical archives, and you just know there's critical data locked inside. Well, today, we're looking at a pretty powerful new key from Google that's designed to unlock all of that. So let's dive right in.
All right, here's the game plan. We'll start with the problem that I'm sure we all know too well, the unstructured data challenge. Then we'll introduce LangExtract and see what makes it tick. We'll look at a really powerful use case in medicine, and then get into the practical stuff, like how you can use it with different LLMs. And we'll wrap up with a question for you. What will you extract? You know, it doesn't matter if you're in drug discovery, chemistry, or the social sciences. We're all swimming in text. And trying to find those specific, usable data points in, millions of words, it's the classic needle in a haystack problem. And it can seriously slow down discovery. So this is the million-dollar question for every PhD student, every PI, every data scientist out there, right? How do you systematically, repeatably, and reliably pull the actual signal, the structured data you need for your analysis, out of all that noise? And this is exactly where LangExtract comes in. You can think of it as a purpose-built toolkit designed to solve this very problem. It's basically an intelligent bridge to get you from raw, messy text to clean, analysis-ready data. So what is it, exactly? Well, at its core, LangExtract is a Python library. It uses large language models to pull structured information out of all that unstructured text. But here's the crucial part. It makes sure that every single piece of data it extracts is grounded. And what that means is it points you back to the exact spot in the original source where it found it. So who's behind this? Two really important details here. First, this library comes straight from Google. And second, and this is a huge deal for the research community, it is completely open source under an Apache 2.0 license. That means you can use it, you can look under the hood, and you can build on it, totally free. Okay, so what makes LangExtract any different from some script you could whip up yourself? Well, it really comes down to three core ideas that it's built around, making sure the data it gives you is grounded, structured, and extracted in a way that can actually scale. First off, for any kind of verifiable research, that source grounding is just non-negotiable. It means you can literally click on any data point it extracts and see exactly where it came from in the text. No black boxes. The tool also forces a consistent output structure, which keeps your data nice and clean. And my favorite part? It generates an interactive HTML file so you can visually check the results yourself. It's pretty cool. So that covers being able to trust the data, but what about real-world scale? You know, when you have to analyze thousands of pages? LangExtract is built for that. It uses smart chunking and parallel processing to handle enormous documents. Plus, it's totally domain agnostic. Whether you're in medicine, chemistry, or history, you can teach it what to look for with just a couple of examples. No need to go through the headache of fine-tuning a model. And honestly, getting started is incredibly simple. It's just a three-step process. First, you define what you're looking for with a clear prompt and a good example. Second, you run the extract function. And third, you visualize the results. It's all designed to get you from an idea to actual data as fast as possible. Okay, let's talk about where a technology like this can have a massive impact. And one of the most obvious and promising fields is definitely medicine. Think about turning all those dense, narrative clinical notes into structured, searchable insights for your research. This is a potential game changer for medical research and drug discovery. I mean, imagine being able to automatically pull out every medication, dosage, and administration route from thousands of patient records, or structuring the key findings from tons of complex radiology reports into one consistent format. This is exactly the kind of task LangExtract excels at. Now, of course, we have to put up the big official disclaimer here. These examples are just to show you what the technology can do. This is not a finished medical product, it's not meant for diagnosis, and it should absolutely, under no circumstances, be used for medical advice. It's a research tool, plain and simple.
And hey, you don't have to just take my word for it. The team actually put up a live demo called RadExtract over on Hugging Face. You can go there right now, paste in a sample report, and see how it structures the findings in real time. It's a really fantastic way to see the power for yourself.
So let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually run this thing? A huge concern for any researcher is data privacy and model choice. And LangExtract gives you a really flexible solution here, letting you balance the raw power of the cloud with the security of local control. This flexibility gives you a pretty clear choice based on what you need. For maximum horsepower on really complex tasks, you can tap into cloud models like Google's Gemini or OpenAI's GPT-4o with an API key.
But if you're working with sensitive patient data or anything you can't send to the cloud, you can run models locally on your own machine using Ollama. That gives you complete data privacy with no API key needed.
And the support here is pretty broad. It's obviously built for Google's Gemini family, but it also supports OpenAI models like GPT-4o. And for local use, its integration with Ollama means you can run pretty much any model you want, like Gemma 2, right on your own lab computer. That flexibility is just key for adapting the tool to your specific research needs and constraints. So we've seen what it is, we've seen how it works, and we've seen where it can be used. Now the focus really shifts back to you and your own research. What could a tool like this unlock for your projects? And if you decide to try it, you won't be alone. The project already has over 13,000 stars on GitHub. Now, that's not just a vanity metric. That number signals a really strong, active community, which translates to good support, ongoing development, and a reliable tool you can actually build into your research stack. So we'll end on this question. I want you to think about your own projects for a second. The articles, the lab notebooks, the clinical notes. What critical insights are just sitting there, locked away in that text, waiting for the right tool to come along and bring them into the light? LangExtract might just be that tool.